This is going to be a video on a problem I found with Boss snow plows with the coupler pins and how to take care of that problem.
Now, what you want to do when you're looking at your Boss plow, you want to look at this spot right here. This is crucial, and here's why. I know you're not going to be able to pull this out, but look for the separation. You see this right here? Watch where my finger is now. See how that's separating right there? Now, if you've got a Boss plow, that's a very important thing to check. What happens is, when you remove or you put your plow on, this will bang against here. So if you have a fleet of vehicles, this is definitely something you need to be concerned about. This is your other weld that I was telling you about right here. You can see it with my hand. See how it's completely broken? This is detached. This is completely broken. This should be bent back and put in place. You can see how bad it's been bent. And that does happen frequently. And here is the other side of the plow. This is our other one right here. Now this is on another plow. You can see your weld right here. And you can see that it is broken. And I am moving it. So this is something you might want to check for on your Boss plows.
What causes the weld to break on these pins is going up and down with your plow. You notice is downward pressure from that pin applied to the frame on the plow itself. This is what's causing that to snap. I'm doing this multiple times so you can actually see it flex. Now, as you put your plow on, or you take it off, take your pick, if this pin is bent, what will happen is the red safety catch will not catch at all. So you have to reach down there and try to maneuver it to get it to go in, to get it to catch. This is when it becomes a safety issue, as you can see here. And the safety pin's not engaging. Now I'm going to show you a completely different view so you can see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to do that here. When the pins engage properly, this is what it's supposed to look like. As you go up and down to remove it, or up and down to mount it onto the vehicle itself, you can see where the pin actually gets bent. Now to weld these, it's relatively easy provided you have a large enough welder. It's important to line the two pieces of metal back up relatively close to where that they were before. Now to do that, you can use vice grips. You want to try to get it semi-straight if at all possible. Now once you get it straight as possible, you want to make sure to leave a little bit of a gap in there so that way you can get a good weld in there and get it taken care of. My apologies for the little bit of out of focus on the video itself. Welding these is relatively easy, provided you have a good ground and you have good wire feed speed and the welder is up to the task. Unfortunately, I ran out of wire on this video, so I actually had to stop it and redo the video again. Now when you get done welding your coupler pin, you want to clean it up real good. Get it looking somewhat presentable, even though not many people are going to see it. Just make sure you have a good enough weld, and it's going to be sufficient. It doesn't matter how many precautions you take. Unfortunately, after this is used a couple times, there's a good possibility that it could crack again. So be prepared. You may have to weld this again. If it's taken off and put on the vehicle quite a few times, you're probably going to have to do it again. As I stated in the beginning of this video, it is somewhat of a safety issue. If the safety latch isn't latching in, the pin can come out, even though it is spring loaded. Now, normally this isn't much of an issue, but when you're a mechanic and you work on things and you do a lot of welding and you have to weld this many plows, it may become an issue when people take their plows off and put them on repeatedly during a snow plowing season. Now, hopefully this has helped somebody out. I welcome any comments or suggestions. Thank you.